Welcome to Manhwa Recaps, spoilers ahead, watch out, and take care. Huge shout out and special thanks to the channel members. The series starts with a woman pleading to be let go, asking a man why he's doing this. He takes a look back at her, as she explains that because of him, this child has stopped breathing. She begins crying, asking if he's satisfied with this. He says that if she really wants to know, it's an answer she should already have. The fact that she's trapped here, and the fact that she took her own life is something that they brought upon themselves. She cries, saying that she didn't do anything, but he tells her not to say another word, because it's all over. This is his 6th iteration of loops, each consisting of a few hundred years. As he heads into a portal, he says even in this life he failed to stop the apocalypse. We learn that his name is Ji-tae. He had a thought that if he had listened to him, maybe something would have changed. As soon as he exits the portal, what he's greeted by is multiple giant dragons who turn to him. The red one, who is closest to him, starts to charge up a breath attack. He glances over at it, as the attack beams straight towards him. He says that he doesn't regret it though. He says that he's not going to let go of this child. As he uses an ability called the Formless Sword, which is SS rank. What he realized after reaching his 6th cycle, and this hellish world war, was that failure and experience are everything. As he cuts the dragon's head off in one strike. He lands on a nearby wall, and closes the gap towards a horde of dragons. He readies his blade, and starts cutting them all into pieces, sending their body parts flying through the air. After his final strike, his sword begins to dissipate, and he sighs, saying that there's no end to them, no matter how many he kills. A status window appears, saying the planet Earth is entering the apocalypse status condition, as he has failed to save it. But still, since he has the authority of the grandfather clock, which is X rank, it begins to rewind time once more. He closes his eyes, saying that it wasn't meaningless, as a bright light forms on the horizon. The status window appears once more, saying the world's time begins anew. Back to the present, we see people confused by something, as there's a portal floating in the air directly above them. They wonder if they should call the police, and a dude walks over, as his wife tells him that she's got a bad feeling about this. He says that he doesn't know when it'll disappear, and that photos are something that last forever. Monsters fly out of the gate, and she watches in horror, as her husband wins the Darwin Award for absolute dumbass. She drops her phone, cracking it, but is frozen like a deer in headlights, as monsters flood out of the gate. We learn that they've opened up all over the world, and it's a story we're familiar with. Humanity was on the brink of extinction. But amidst the crisis, they found a new hope. It opened an era known as the New Epic. The world gathered young hunters with great potential on the artificial island Hateling to begin their education. This was the global academy city, the establishment of the layer, and now humans have started again. Ji-tae is here at the start to his 7th cycle. We see a man holding a woman hostage, telling the cops to back off unless they want to see her die. They yell, telling the man to deactivate his ability, and surrender. As they continue telling him this, Ji-tae approaches him from behind, and tells the man that they already told him what to do. The man turns in horror, because he didn't sense his presence, wondering when he got behind him. He then pushes the girl away, and starts swinging wildly at Ji-tae, asking if he's a cop. Not a single attack lands, and out of pure frustration, he goes in for a very wide swing. Ji-tae dodges it, saying that he's not just a cop, but he's the whole damn force. As he hits the dude in the face, it sends him flying across the ground like a Dragon Ball Z fight, and he says that he low-key forgot to control his strength. We learn that he is a police officer here at the academy. Turns out that he was a superhuman trafficker, and Ji-tae explains to everyone else that he heard he took a passing citizen hostage, so he showed up. A woman then asks why the trafficker's laying down like that, and he says that he brought him over. She says fine, then she needs to finish filing the incident report, but tells him that he did good work. For some reason, he seems different than usual. She wonders if he was always that tall, but he also looks more handsome. Some other dude walks over, congratulating him, saying that he thinks he might have beat him too much, and he might get complaints about excessive force again. Ji-tae says they're all unfamiliar faces to him. He hasn't gone to work a single time since he started regressing, so they were all complete strangers to him. He tells them that he'll handle the trafficker, and starts to carry him away. He says the reason he gave up on his daily life, and began regressing to stop the apocalypse, was the death of the baby dragons called hatchlings. Hatchlings who had grown to a certain extent in the other world called Ascalapa come to Earth for amusement, to build happy memories. In that process, some went mad from war, lost control, and died. Some broke, unable to endure being buried under the malice of humanity, and there were those who stopped their own hearts because they could not achieve the task given to them. Enraged by their deaths, their parents, the adult dragons, began their attack on humanity, gathering all of those capable of fighting in the planet of Escalapa. Ji-tae became so strong through repeated lives that he couldn't get any stronger, but it wasn't enough to protect the world alone. That is why, in this regression, he intends to try a different method. The woman from earlier approaches him, asking what he's gonna do after work. She wants to go to a nearby restaurant afterwards, and maybe have a little date. She's low-key straight up just hitting on him, but he tells her that he has somewhere to go. She asks where, and he tells her that he has to go to Europe. Specifically, he heads to Florence, Italy. We see one of the dragons putting a crown on a kid's head, and the kid looks so happy, but so does she. Of course, remember, they're here to make memories. That is when Ji-tae approaches her from behind, and calls out to her, greeting her. She turns, curious as to who he is, and he tells her that it's time for a surprise adoption. She turns, as her ability, Fallen Babel, which is S rank, activates. It freely handles foreign languages, translating them for her. She asks why he came looking for her, and he says that he had some business to attend to. She asks if that means he came knowing who she is, and he says yes. He then asks if she knows who he is. She says she does, calling him by his name, Ji-tae, asking if she's right. He looks troubled, asking where she heard it. She tells him that it's written right there on his chest, then laughs it off, saying that she has no idea who he is or what he does, but she does know one thing, and that she can tell he's strong, but also that he doesn't belong here. He looks around, because she's not quite wrong. She then wonders if by chance he's here to kill her. He says he's not. She then asks if he's really here to kidnap her. He says it's close enough. She asks if he's a weirdo who gets off on dragons to stop there, but he tells her to stop with the jokes. He intends to protect her in this dangerous world. If she doesn't listen to him now, he'll have to resort to rougher methods. They say that the eyes of her kind can read providence, and that's why he knows she has better instincts, and grasps situations faster than other clans, and since she's one of them, he hopes that she'll make a wise decision. She asks if he's saying that if she behaves, and listens, he'll be nice to her. He says yes, and she says that she understands. It's not like she has a choice anyway, but in return, he has to treat her kindly, like a guest, asking if that's a promise or not. We see her hand shaking, and to ease her fear, he pinky promises with her. Later, at his apartment, we see her waking up, and she says that she wonders if he's awake yet. She goes over towards him, as we see him staring at some weird shadow figure. He tells it that he'll be fine, as long as it goes, and does what he says. This is the Grand Duke's summon, which is also SS rank. It summons a double that can exert up to 50% of his main abilities. It transforms into him, saying that it'll obey his command, and walks past the dragon. She greets him, and she says that it looks exactly the same. Ji-tae tells her not to mind, as he's just going to do work in his place. She asks if he's really not going to go to work. He says that the double is one of his abilities, so it is him working, and he needs to stay by her side. She laughs, saying she sees, then sits down, asking if they should have breakfast. He asks why, and she says that they should eat, as he skipped dinner last night too. He tells her that he's fine. She says that it's a little awkward for her to eat alone, when the owner of the house isn't. He asks if she always eats, as he knows dragons can live without it. She says it's not a matter of survival. Eating something tasty makes her happy, and it gives her energy too. He asks if that's really the case, and she says that it is, but they should go grocery shopping. He says that he's fine, but she insists that she'll show him the power of breakfast. They head to the S-Mart nearby, and people can't stop staring at the two of them, complimenting how handsome he is, but also how pretty the dragon is. Poor boy got caught staring. Ji-tae says that they're buying a bit much just to make breakfast. She says when she checked earlier, there were no ingredients in the kitchen at all, and since they'll be cooking in the future too. He says that they should hurry up, and she says she'll whip him up some breakfast right away. He says that they'll drop this at home, and eat out. She asks why, and he says that there's some places they need to stop, so she needs to come too. Besides, it's way past breakfast time. She says that she's sorry, she just had fun, since it's been a while since she last went shopping. She asks what kind of place they'll be going to. He says that there are things she'll need to live here, and that they need to go, because they have a lot to do. Later, we see a bald creep ogling her, saying she's beautiful, asking if it's his girlfriend. Ji-tae says that if he doesn't want to lose his other eye, to just shut up, and make it. The dude pouts, and we see them going place to place, buying multiple items, and finally she has her own ID card. We see that he's given her his last name, but also the name of Bomb. He asks if she's never had an ID card before, and she says that no, she's never even had a bank account or a watch either. He asks how the hell she's been living here all this time. Then she says that she knows the last name is his, but asks why her first name is Bomb. He tells her that it's from the 4 seasons, since there are 4 dragons. She says that she likes the name. Spring is the season of life that comes to the world, after all. It's a very pretty name. To be honest, it's not that she's scared of him anymore, but her eyes are still constantly warning him that he is dangerous. But she doesn't think he's a bad person. He asks if she can be so sure after just one day. She says that her instincts are better than anyone's, because she's from the Green Dragon clan, so if it's okay with him, she wants to watch him a little longer, and smiles at him. He says he's never seen this in any of the previous cycles, and looks up at the cherry blossoms blooming, saying that the beginning isn't bad. This cycle might be pretty relaxing. It takes us to a wasteland somewhere on the African continent, as we see a red-haired girl asking why they were acting all tough, when this is all they had. The dude yells, calling her a crazy bitch, but she kicks him in the face. She's slamming his head into the ground, laughing. She says that he was so ugly, she stomped a little hard, asking if he's dead, but she says this makes it 199 wins out of 199 fights, and she wonders who her next opponent will be. Later, on the news, Jite was browsing, as he's reading about how South America is now a battlefield, and they're in major conflict, but also that the African vigilante, Night Hunter, is at odds with the terrorist. Jite says maybe it's time he made a move. Bomb knocks, asking if he's busy, because dinner's ready. He tells her he'll be right out. He then looks at her food, which is absolutely not edible, and he thinks about if he's even gonna try it. She asks him what he thinks, as she saw a dish using sardines while she was in the United Kingdom. She thought it would pair well with the rice, as Koreans love rice. He spoons up a bit, and the fish whispers to kill it, realizing that low-key he doesn't want to eat this shit. He tells her that he's going to get red tomorrow. She says that it's going to be difficult to bring her back. She won't come easily like she did. Jite says that it won't be that hard if she comes, and convinces her. She asks how, and she says they all want different things. She has fun taking her time, and building things, but the red dragons are different. They love war, and violence, and tend to flaunt their strength. That's why using force to bring her here is a mistake. To the red dragon, subjugation is worse than death. He says that it's going to be dangerous if they don't bring the red dragon in soon, because there's someone after her, and at this rate, she will be killed. So if she goes with him, they can settle this peacefully. She stares at him, and he asks what's wrong. She says that it's just interesting seeing him ask for something like this, as she thought that he was someone who tries to do everything by himself, no matter what. She then says that it's not every day that he asks for help, so she'll do it, also because she doesn't want Red to die either. But she does have a condition. He has to finish what she made for him. As she saw him put down his spoon as they spoke, he immediately turns into the meme of the dog accepting its fate, and then raises the spoon to his mouth. Meanwhile, in South Africa, we see Red going on a spree. She throws a man to the floor, saying that he's weak too. She didn't want her 200th victory to be like this. There's no match left for her in Africa, so she doesn't know where to go next, but she did hear Green was in Europe, so maybe she should head over there to see her. The men say that this is insane. They're the elite force, yet they're being wiped out by a girl. His homie tells him to not think of her as a girl. She's a battle-crazed monster. He says that what's certain is that they're not enough, and that they need someone to come here soon. Red appears on the wall behind them, asking what they're whispering about over here. They're surprised that she's there, and they instantly turn to shoot at her, but she tells them it's too late. As she goes to swing, a new attack comes in from the side. She blocks it with her sword, and wonders what's up with this mana. She has to use a lot of strength to blast it away. They can't believe she slashed away the mana, calling her a monster. A man then appears, saying that must be the Night Hunter. We learn that his name is Javier. He tells his men to take the wounded, and fall back. He is rank 8 in the superhuman ranking, and is affiliated with the African Union. Red says that he surprised her, because that attack just now was heavy, which means he must be the boss here. He says that he heard she was a girl, but she's younger than he thought. They ask if he's fallen for her now, and that's why she had a mask on before. Nobody fought her properly without it, as they were always too busy staring at her face. Javier says that he's surprised she felt the power difference between the two of them, yet still won't surrender. She asks what kind of person she'd be if she retreated after her weapon broke. She would much rather die fighting than surrender, and live. Closing the gap, she swings down, and he backsteps it. She then goes for a kick, which he blocks. Again, she comes in with a heavy left, but she can't land a single attack. She thinks she sees an opening, rearing back her fist, and comes in with the ultimate dick punch, but after it comes into contact with him, she's surprised, asking whether there's no reaction. He says that she must have never fought anyone stronger than her, and that all of her fights have been easy till now. It's a shame to waste all that talent, but he won't be playing along with her games anymore. He swings, as she narrowly dodges. She realizes she made a mistake. He then starts to charge up his attack, called the Sword of Ra. His eyes begin glowing golden. She puts up her block, realizing that this is unavoidable, as he swings, cleaving all the nearby buildings in half, sending her flying backwards. She crashes into a wall. Javier says that she strengthened her arms in that short time he blocked it, which he didn't expect, but he needs to increase his output. He looks back, seeing that she's not there, saying that she must have run away. As we see Bomb blocking her mouth, and her arm has been turned back into a dragon. She asks what she's doing here, and Bomb says she came to save her, because she heard she was in trouble. She asks what she means, as she just popped out of nowhere. Bomb says that she was told that she would die if she kept fighting like this. Red says that she told her not to interfere with her fights, if nothing else, and just mind her own business, as she's going to fight till the end. Bomb says that their fun ends if she dies. She asks how. Bomb says her death isn't solely her own, and that their fun will all be ruined. She wants to stay on Earth, asking if she'll work with her. Red thinks about it, asking if they're meant to run away, as this dude is hella strong, so he'll catch up in no time. Bomb says that her guy will take care of it. She asks what she means by her guy, and Bomb tells her not to worry about it, as she didn't come alone. As we see G-Tae behind Javier, he turns, asking who he is. G-Tae sighs, and says that he's actually a chaperone. Javier asks what he means by a chaperone, as it doesn't seem like she needs one. Red takes a peek, asking if that's the guy she was talking about. G-Tae says it's too complicated to explain everything, but they should stop here. He asks what he thinks he's doing. He shows up out of nowhere, and spouts nonsense, and this isn't something they could just let slide, as she crossed a line. He tells her she hasn't killed anyone yet. Javier tells him not to play games with him. G-Tae says she isn't going to be out here much longer anyway, and he should just let it go. Javier tightens the grip on his blade, asking if he really thought he'd let him go away just because he said that. This area is within his jurisdiction to begin with, and as an investigator, he's going to be arresting her, and him who claims to be her chaperone. He activates his Sword of Ra once more, and swings, doing the same attack he did to Red straight towards G-Tae. The attack is bright, and starts to destroy everything around it. After the rubble has settled, and we see the path of destruction it created, Javier says that if he is with that monster of a girl, this shouldn't be enough to hurt him. Oh boy was he right, as G-Tae appears behind him, saying that this is frustrating, as he's supposedly the 8th rank superhuman, but still this is all he amounts to. Javier panics that he's behind him now, and goes to use Sword of Ra once more, but as he casts it, we see his arm flying into the air. He then feels the sensation, as he watches it flying up into the sky. G-Tae descends onto the ground beside him, telling him to listen quietly. This is the unluckiest day of his life. He unfortunately met an unforeseen monster while taking in that girl, and he wasn't able to properly respond to the attacks, resulting in him losing both of his arms and eyes. He lost track of both targets, and he's going to forget everything that happened here, as he holds the blade up to his eyes. He starts to gouge them out. Javier screams. G-Tae explains that they're healing superhumans within his group, so lost limbs and eyes can be healed, however the fear that's now imprinted in him won't be. Fear is effective, as seen here, and he's made good use of it. Javier starts screaming, and as G-Tae looks back, he says that the fear also applies to Red too. As we see her asking Bomb just what the hell is the deal with that monster. Bomb then tells her that he's not a monster, but a human. She laughs, saying that if that's a human, she's nothing but a lizard. G-Tae then says that she will live within his house, under his protection. If she gives up enough freedom, he'll support her if she wants anything, but if she dares to leave his protection, Bomb cuts him off, saying that Red is in shock, and she'll calm her down, and explain things to her later. Red asks what she thinks she's doing. Bomb winks to G-Tae. He thinks about it, saying that from now on, her name is Yoram. He also gives her his last name. Bom tells her that she's grown a lot since last time, and Yorum tells her that she's not in the mood to be messed around with right now. Ji-tae looks up at the sky, and puts his hand to his ear, saying that he reporting that the situation has been handled. Turns out that was the shadow soldier. At the same time, in the rainforest of the Amazon, we see him with a little girl. He says good work, and he'll finish up, and return. He says that Yorum is a total brute, so convincing her would have been difficult for his clone alone, so it was a good thing he sent Bom with him. Girl then asks who he was talking to, and he says it's nothing. She says that it's weird, cause his smartwatch is on her wrist, saying maybe he just enjoys talking to himself. This is the gold dragon. Like all gold dragons, she loves attention, and she lived a third of his 6 cycles as an idol. The one who outshone all of them was the dragon who caused the most destruction. The love of many is glamorous, but comes with its downsides. That reason is why she's here, in the middle of nowhere. She tells him that the watch is super cool, has a projector screen above, and the image is super crisp. She's never seen anything like this last time. Maybe she's in her own loops. I don't quite understand what that means, but he asks what she's doing out here. She should be amongst humans. She's here for entertainment, cause there's nothing but beasts and bugs here. She asks how he knew that, and he says that he heard from Bom, the green dragon. She says that she did smell her on him, so he knows green. He then calls out to her, asking if she's afraid of humans now. She says the thing is she's not scared of them, but she's lived amongst them before. They would follow her when she went home, look at her with weird stares, and keep following her. That was a little scary, and stuff, but that's all. He asks if she likes bread. She says that she doesn't need to eat, since she's a dragon. He snaps his fingers. As a rift opens, hands start to form out of it. It's called the Void of Shallow West, which is S rank. It's a sub-dimension that can swallow an entire city, and it delivers a bag full of bread. She looks amazed, and then stares down at the bread, saying that it's real, and it smells really good, asking if he's really giving it to her. He says he is, and she wonders why he is so much, as there's donuts, blueberry, egg tarts too. He tells her to come with him, rather than staying here. Her friends will be there too, so it'll be safe, as she needs to enjoy her entertainment like the other dragons. She says still, her mom told her not to follow strangers, and he says he'll buy her macaroons. She drops the food in her hands, as her eyes start to light up. Some time later, back at the apartment, we see Yorum getting out on the balcony, and she can't stop thinking about Javier, and how he just got bodied, but she's frustrated. Bom sees her, and wants to go console her, until she hears the door open. She turns, as we see the little golden dragon with Ji-tae, saying that she promises she's not here for more bread. As she's eating, the next thing, she has one of those Food Wars reactions, saying that it's so soft, but it's also crunchy, and that this is the taste of heaven. Bom welcomes him back, and the gold dragon is excited to see her, and Bom says it's been a while. Gold quickly runs over, hugging her, as Bom tells her she's gotten prettier. Gold says that it's been so long, and she's missed her. Gold asks how long they've been living together with this guy. She says just for a few days, and Red's also here. The shadow welcomes him back, and he says that he'll call him again, so to return to work. As he leaves, Red enters the apartment, spotting Ji-tae, and is too frustrated to say anything. Gold yells out for her, and starts annoying her, asking how she's been, but also why she's smoking again. Red grabs her lips, telling her to be quiet. She keeps yapping. She'll rip her tongue out. Gold calls her mean. Then he asks for their ages. They all tell him how old they are. Gold then mentions that he keeps calling Red Yorum, asking if that's a fake name. Yorum says she doesn't know either. Bom then explains that's the name he gave her, and that she is Bom. Gold says they haven't even had their coming-of-age ceremonies yet, so how do they have names? And they're supposed to be special, not something simple like that. She says if their names are Bom and Yorum, which translate to spring and summer, then she'll probably be fall, which is Gayul. Ji-tae says that's correct, and her necklace will be Gyeol, which means winter. They ask if he really knows this is Blue's egg. He says that it's a polymorph, and she'll be born soon, so be careful with her. They say that he sure does know a lot for a human, asking how he knows all this. He says they don't need to know that, and he'll say it again, since they're all here. They just need to follow one rule. Enjoy their entertainment here, but don't leave the fence. Gayul asks what he means. He says that he doesn't want them to hide themselves from him. Their entertainment will be under his control, and within his supervision. Yorum starts to get annoyed, and shit talks to him, while the other two just stare at her. She asks what they're staring at, and Bomb asks if that means they can have fun nearby. And if that's the case, they should go out for a bit, and since they'll be living here, she needs to go get them identities and supplies. Gaeul says that sounds fun, but Yorum says that she doesn't think they should be going out when they don't have money. Ji-tae tells them not to worry about it, and throws them his wallet. Bomb asks how much they can spend, and he says that they can spend as much as they want. They start to go on a shopping spree, and he watches, as they're just buying everything one after the other, until his credit limit is reached. He stares at it, as they're home with all their items. Then Bomb awkwardly hands him his wallet back, saying that they spent too much, and she wanted to buy some clothes for him too, but couldn't, because of the credit limit. He says it's fine. As Gaeul tells him to check this out, she starts going from outfit to outfit, asking if he thinks they're pretty, and she bought them all, because she thought they looked great, and she's happy with them. He says they look good on her, and she thanks him. Yorum realizes that she should probably do the same, and shows him that she bought a watch, and a sword, as hers was destroyed. He says she bought a pretty decent one, and she says she's glad it wasn't garbage. Gaeul says that she bought some for her to try on too, but Yorum says she doesn't need any of that. Bomb says that Yorum isn't good at expressing her feelings, but she's grateful. Ji-tae says that's a relief, but asks if she didn't buy anything, as she seems empty-handed. She says she bought one thing, and it's on the table. It's a potted plant. She says it feels nice to tend to them, and he asks what she's talking about. She says that it will flower, and become memorable, something that she can cherish forever. But she's curious about something. He asks what, and she says that as he knows, their entertainment isn't just about eating and drinking. If there's any way to get the full experience well under his supervision. He says there is, and she looks surprised. He says that it'd be pretty simple if they go to school, which would be the Lair Academy. Gaeul and Yorum wonder if they heard that right. Later, they say that they're back, and Yorum wonders why the interview took so long. Bomb wonders if maybe he's not here. Gaeul says that she thought of something horrible. What if they both make it, and she fails? She'll be the only one not going to school. Yorum asks why she keeps talking about the worst case scenarios, and that she should just shove her face with bread. She says she's going to fail, because she's a pig, but Ji-tae tells them that they did good with the interviews. She starts hugging him, saying that they're going to fail her, but he tells her not to worry. Bomb asks where he's been, and he says that he was out getting this. As he holds up a bag, Gaeul starts sniffing it, saying that it smells good, asking what it is. He says it's something she'll like. Her eyes light up, asking if it's bread, and he says that she'll like it even more. He recalls her being on a talk show one night, and how her name as the pop star was Baby Yellow, and how she went on a show where they eat a lot of food, and that their chefs will cook up her favorite dishes on the spot, asking what she wants to eat the most, then laughingly talks about a rumor that she survives only on morning dew. She laughs it off, saying that she's still human, so that's not possible. When she talks about what she likes the most, we see that it was actually fried chicken. Her mouth starts watering, and her head starts wagging, as she says that this smells really good. Yorum asks if she's never had this before. Then Gaeul says that it's going to be her favorite thing from now on. Yorum tells her that it's just chicken, and it's not that big of a deal. Bomb asks if he's not going to eat with them, but Ji-tae says that they can go ahead, and dig in. She's a little annoyed, saying that he should eat with them though. He heads out to the balcony, as the admission office for Lair contacts him. They called him because of a slight issue during the interview. He asks what they're talking about, and then the person asks if he didn't hear it from Bomb. He says he didn't. Apparently, she got a perfect score in the interview, and they couldn't praise her enough. That's why they offered her the chance to be the one to lead the entrance ceremony. He says a direct offer seems a little surprising, and the person says that it was, and everybody offered it to her directly. The problem is that she declined. This is a great opportunity, so they were wondering if he could convince her otherwise. He says that he won't do it. If that's what she wants, that's what he wants. Then he hangs up the phone, saying that's all. Yorum comes onto the balcony with a cigarette, asking if the call was about Green. Ji-tae tells her to call her Bomb instead, but she says that name is cringe, asking if he's really trying to play house at his age, and if he's Blackbeard. He asks what the hell she's trying to say. She thinks about it, asking why he's sending them to Lair. He says to give them what they want. She says all she wants is a good fight though, asking if there's anyone strong there. He says there must be, since the best around the world are there, but she says that they're still all kids. He says that she's still one too. Annoyed, she flicks her cigarette, saying that she wants to have a fight properly with him. She knows that he's strong, but she wants to know exactly how strong. And if he's going to keep her under him, she needs to see what he's capable of. He thinks about it, and says that they should just head inside, and eat, as he sighs. She asks why he's such a bore, and he says that he doesn't know. She flips him off. Then Gaeul says that she shouldn't be like that, when they have such good food here. She yells, saying she's not going to. She shoves it into her mouth, and says that this shit is gas. We learn more about Lair, and how it's an educational institution unlike any other in the world. It's a school that trains superhumans who have various blessings and abilities. But the cadets who train in Lair are the children of CEOs, royal houses, and geniuses. As such, the academy receives constant criticisms on structural hierarchism. We see them actually attending the school now, and Gaeul says that this school is so cool, and she heard only the super rich get in. She then says that maybe Jitae is the hidden child of a CEO, because he never mentioned anything when they spent all of his money. Gaeul says that he does look the part, but that aside, it's a relief they got in. She agrees, saying that she thought she'd fail, but she's happy to be with the two of them. And she likes the uniform. But then she wonders where Yorum and Jitae are. Bomb says that Yorum went to the Blue Dragon School for practical exams, and he went with her as a chaperone. Gaeul asks what that is, so Bomb tells her that adult supervisors of children accompany the students in the lair, so that the immature superhumans don't go out of line. She says that makes sense, because she'd be a menace without it. Bomb says apparently what Yorum applied for requires cadets to duel with each other. Gaeul gets excited, saying that she could watch them, but Bomb says they can't. Gaeul asks why, and she says that's because it would be weird if they all went together. At the Blue Dragon School, we see students fighting one another all around, as their stages spread across the floor. Jitae is sitting in the seat. Then a woman appears, telling everybody to calm down, as they are only causing their future cadets more anxiety. A man asks who she is, and she says she hasn't introduced herself yet. He says he is the head professor of the Blue Dragon School, named Wei Yuan. Thought this was a woman by the hair. My bad, gang. He says it's a pleasure to meet them all. Two of them say likewise, but Jitae stays silent. As they keep yapping, he looks at them, until he hears numbers 124 and 7 to be called up. This catches his attention, because it's none other than Yorum, who says this better be interesting. Her opponent stares at her, and Yorum says that if it's not fun, she's going to have to run away. Some students start talking about who they should bet on, and one of them says that both are pretty, but he thinks the redhead is more his type. Dude asks if he's stupid, saying that he asked who he thinks is gonna win. He says that there's no doubt about it, it'll be Sofia Vorkova. She was already in RIL before she got here. RIL is Russia's Hunter Special Task Force that played a big role in the Great War. They're infamous for their training methods, which are close to torture, which means everybody knows that she's tough as hell. A man yells, saying that the higher-ups have high expectations of her, telling her that she can do it, and win. His name is Mikhailer, and people tell him he can't be here. Sofia just finds him embarrassing. Yorum says that her daddy seemed to be really anxious, and that she should just surrender, and go to him. She can tell she's a papa's girl. Sofia tells her to shut her mouth, or she might really die here. Yorum tells her to go ahead, and try. The students say that she's scary, and they wouldn't expect any less from someone from RIL, and they say that the redhead's scary too. They get told to get to their positions, and Jitae watches. Sofia puts up her guard, and Yorum just looks confident. The bell rings to start, as Sofia closes the gap in an instant with her fist ready. Yorum catches the blow, saying that her speed isn't bad, telling her to have a taste of this, as she swings. Sofia ducks underneath, and comes in with a kick to the face. Yorum blocks it with her wrist, but the attack's strong enough to cut through her clothing. She says she just got these, and it makes her pissed. Sofia then distances herself from Yorum, but it was momentarily, just to make her drop her guard, as she closes the gap with a single stride. She starts trying to hit blow after blow, but not a single attack is able to land on Yorum, as she's effortlessly dodging them. Yorum looks towards the cage, running to it, and bounces off of it, as they're flying straight towards each other. Yorum raises her weapon into the air, and swings down, causing Sofia to have to block it with her guard. She fractures both of her arms, and she starts to make a pained face, but Yorum looks like she's finally starting to enjoy it. While Sofia's blocking, Yorum uses some instant transmission to get behind her, saying that she hopes she didn't think she was easy, because she was playing along. She comes in with her punch, hitting Sofia, making her fly all the way to the border of the cage, and she begins to cough up blood. Yorum points her blade at her, and starts laughing. She's officially declared the winner. Then she taunts her, saying that she acted like she was strong, but that shit was freelo. Sophia looks pissed, and Yoram says that for the so-called elites, turns out they're just a bunch of kids trying to play hero when they're just losers. Michaela runs into the arena, and the students can't believe she just got her shit rocked like that, but it looked pretty even at the start. One of them says that the redhead isn't even hurt, so she was playing with her. They start talking about how strong she is, but say maybe Sophia's just weak as hell. She might be from real, but it looks like she's here just because of her looks. She doesn't have the skills, so her face must be what's saving her. Sophia can hear all of this. The nurse says that she's done first aid, she should be fine soon, but her arms are still fractured. Michaela thanks her. But Sophia tightens her fist, frustrated, saying that she's not done yet. Michaela laughs, saying that she did her best, and it's a shame, but she can't defeat that child as she is now, but he's not disappointed in her. She stares down at the knife on his leg, and he says that it was lucky that she met her now, as loss makes a person stronger, and he will report this to the higher-ups himself. The nurse then tells him that his daughter is walking out of the cage, and we see her holding the knife, saying that she never surrendered. She was just pushed back a bit, as she begins to release mana into the knife. She says that she's fine, and she asks Yoram where she thinks she's going, since she's not done yet. She dashes forward, and stabs her straight in the back with her mana-enhanced blade. Jite just sits there watching, as Yoram grits her teeth, as Sophia tells her to die, calling her a bitch. If you've watched till the end, comment, wing, to let me know. Subscribe for more videos like this, leave a like or a comment to help the channel out. Thanks for watching.